Well, guys, it's time for another maple video. It's December 27th. I hope you all had a good Christmas. I hope you got everything you wanted. I got a little surprise for Christmas, and it's right behind me here. This is a woods that we are setting up tubing in. We are going to tap it. Long story short, this one fell in our lap real late. We like to get busy on this stuff, you know, September, October, but this one came this way and we decided to do it. So stick around. So guys, basically this woods here, it's on a nice little hill. It's rocky out here. It's kind of different and kind of unique to the central Wisconsin area. Southeast of the world headquarters, there's an area like this, and that's where this one is located. You don't see a lot of this type of stuff in a lot of woods around here, but we've already got a nice start on it. We've got main lines up throughout. Today what we're going to do is we're going to put up a couple sap ladders, because down in this area it gets a little low, and then on the other side it gets a little low, so we're all going to bring it down to the collection point at the other end. Now, with that being said, I think it's kind of interesting always being out in these woods. You can definitely tell this is central Wisconsin woods, because here there's a lot of mix of farmland and woodlots. And on the farms, the dairy farms back in the day, everybody made maple syrup. And a lot of times what you find in the woods is junk, remnants, old pieces of farm machinery and stuff that just definitely, you know, links to the dairy farming culture in the area. So look at this woods. Here we've got some type of like cedar or something like that. And then over here, you know, there's some type of mower. That one's actually a little bit more recent. It's got rubber tires. Here's a hay rake. And here's all kinds of fencing, woven wire fence, stuff like that. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in this woods. You could clean this up and take a lot of stuff to the scrap yard. Here's some of the rocky terrain that's in here. There's a lot of rocks that come out of these hills. Look at this. Here's a stainless steel sink. Holy cow, I just found this. That actually, somebody could use that for maple. That's actually worth something. I'll have to talk to the owner about this. Yeah, we're renting this woods, and kind of, you know how good things come to those who wait? Well, yeah, this one we had to wait because, like I said, it came on late. But the long story short of it is, we had another woods that we were gonna tap, had that planned out for almost a year, and then, you know how you just, generally it seems you can't really trust people for their word anymore. Even here in rural central Wisconsin, that's what happened. Is I had a verbal agreement, because the maple dude, I'm a trustworthy guy and my word is my bond, my word is gold. I had a verbal agreement with a person to tap their woods, install tubing, but they talked to me during the midst of maple season last year, and I said, well, it's too late now, this is going to be a next year project. Well, after maple season 2023, I went and I talked to them, called them up, and they were like, oh, all of a sudden their tone changed. And I said, that's not available anymore. Basically, the long and the short of it is, they gave it to somebody else. And even though we had talked about this, I had been in the woods a few times, kind of scouting it out and scoping it out. So, you know, I guess I would say it's kind of crazy, but you just can't trust everybody anymore. Sad. Now, as you can see in this woods, there's a lot of nice hard maple. a lot of, you know, some mature maple trees, some maybe like 50, 60 years old. But for the most part, it's all hard maple. And it all goes downhill pretty good, which is, again, kind of unique to central Wisconsin. We don't have a lot of hills. Another thing you can see here is it's very late December and we have absolutely no snow. And it's quite mild. Everything is thawed out. There's no frost in the ground. People are starting to ask, well, what's this going to mean for next maple season 2024? Which honestly, typically here in central Wisconsin is a bit over 2 months away at this point. I always say, I'm not sure, but I will say this. I'd much rather have a cold winter. I'd much rather have some frost in the ground. See, here we are up at the top of the hill, and we've got tons of main lines in already. I did a little bit of experimenting with this one. Is we put a lot more main lines in this one and put them closer together than I previously have. So we're gonna see how that turns out for us. We went with 3/4 inch main lines throughout the woods to get to the conductor lines. You know, the move now is, a lot of the maple nerds out there will say, oh, don't use 3/4 inch. You can use 3/4 inch up to 250 taps, and I can tell you we will not even be close to loading up these 3/4 inch lines because we've put in a lot of them. And you saved yourself a little ching by going with that. A lot of the advice that you see out there, in my opinion, is to get you to buy more plastic tubing or more expensive plastic tubing. I always keep it real. And look at this. It's wet. There's sap coming out of there right now. Yeah, I did a little short video a while back at the beginning of November, and already then trees were running because you were getting the transition, which I expected. But right now we're in winter, and I have no doubt the trees would run right now. And we got to be prepared for that because we're putting this up. We got to get everything else maintained. It's getting harder and harder for me to do videos, guys, because I can't just walk around with a camera and watch other people working. I'm heavily involved in the work of doing this, but I'll try to do what I can. Here's another piece of junk. I'm not sure what that is. And then again, here's one of these cool rocks. All right, there's my man Austin. He's coming in to help put up the sap ladders today, and we'll go from there. I wanted to show you over here, guys, on the other side of the woods, on the downside of the hill, we have a sap ladder going up, or we actually have it up. It's right here. We did a double star system, and those go, well, I mean, from the ground, probably about 16, 17 feet in the air. And that's to get it back up that hill to the main line up there. And by doing that, we were able to, I don't know, add probably about 100 trees down here in this kind of oddball low section. Again, this woods that we're in, there is so much stuff in it, quote unquote stuff. Just kind of junk everywhere, but maybe I'll find some treasures. Here's a couple other things that I found. Check this out. You know, these are some pretty, especially in this area, some nice big mature maple trees, sugar maple. But look at this. Thought you might find that kind of cool. There's one of those old cast aluminum spouts. Actually, the spout end somehow got broke off, but I mean, that's growing right into the tree. Wow. As you can see. And then over here, here's another one where the spout is still on there and it's just getting swallowed up. Wow. And then over here, some guy had a plastic one in here, and that's, wow, you know, that's right in there. And then over here, this one's basically all the way in there almost at this point. You can see the hook hanging out right here. So the guy that owns this land, this woods, he's a 80-year-old man, and they used to cook syrup here. So I'm assuming a lot of that's from back in the day when he was doing it, and they just forgot about it. One thing's for certain, Mother Nature always wins in the end. So I haven't even been over here yet or looked in here, but here's a little shack out in this woods. And let's take a look in here. Okay, it's falling apart. Definitely smells like mouse crap. Not really sure what went on in here, but it's either Central Wisconsin's biggest meth lab, or possibly it was a crack house. But I did check Zillow, and that is now listed for about $175,000. All right, now I drove around to the other side of the woods, and we have another sap ladder here. That one is maybe about 10 feet in the air, maybe 11. And yesterday I was out here and I got up some lateral line to get going on this thing, on the lateral line portion of the project. But there turned out to be more taps than what I thought there would be in this section. So we got to add another set of risers to that sap ladder. Just one single one isn't going to be enough. There's always more than what you think. But anyway, here I did the lateral lines. I'm using hook connectors at the end. And then at the other end, I'm using the end of line hook where the drop line goes right into it. So last year on a project, I used the slide fittings. Those are nice and you can put them up without tools, but I had a bunch of these and I figured why not use what I have on hand instead of buying more of something else, because you know, you can keep throwing all kinds of money at this maple tubing business or this maple syrup business, and sometime at some point you got to start making it back. If you consider it a business, that's what you got to do. You're in it to make money. That's the definition of business. A lot of people, you know, I think they have a business going or whatever, but it's really nothing more than a glorified hobby, because they keep putting back into it exactly what they get out of it the next year. So, you know, they sell their syrup and then they upgrade their pump or put in the latest gizmo or gadget. And, you know, it's just a perpetual cycle. It can be very easy to do that in the maple syrup making world. Guys, if you want to see how to do stuff like this, to put up tubing, to put up sap ladders, whatever it might be, including on the other end what you do with the finished product of the maple syrup, like candy, cream, sugar, cotton candy, whatever it might be, go to my page or go to my YouTube channel and you can find all those videos. I am the OG of how-to videos on YouTube for maple syrup. I've done them all, and I've done them years ago, even when now some of the big names, the big boys out there, are trying to do install videos and stuff like that. I had them all out there for years. That's all you need to know, and all you need to look for is the TMD. I'm going to head up the hill and start putting up more lateral lines. Now, I wanted to give you a reminder. If you like high quality, American-made maple equipment, what you can do is use my personal link to SmokyLakeMaple.com. I'm going to put it on the screen. It's SmokyLakeMaple.com/the Maple Dude. That's where you can get all their high quality equipment, and it helps support the Maple Dude channel, because I am a trusted and esteemed vendor of theirs. So guys, check that out. It helps support the channel and I appreciate it. I'm going to get back to putting up some lateral lines, Here's a little view from above of what I've got done so far. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Please like and subscribe. And remember, always keep it real.